Hey guys, it's Kelly Ann, and it is a Flossy Friday, although this may go out a little late. I'm going to be uploading it on Friday, but it may not go live until Saturday morning. Not fully sure. I have a lot of stuff around me. On last week's video, it was very quick. I truly did not have time to show like anything that I really wanted to. And I forgot a few things, and it's been a crazy week. So small, tiny like life update from the last week, or actually from the last like little while. So again, I don't talk a whole lot about like my work or what I do, but let's just talk about it because I'm really excited and I want to share that with y'all. And I have a friend messaging me on Snapchat right now. Okay. So I do work for the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, and I do work in IT as a trainer. So basically I train IT-based classes. So things on Microsoft products like Outlook, Word, Excel, that kind of stuff. And then I also do like applications that our IT programmers design. That are specific for different departments and divisions, and like units and things like that across the state. So those are the kinds of things that that I train on. But what we've been doing, I had a really big project in the year 2017, and I know that I off and on talked about it. But we basically use Adobe products, Captivate and Connect to be specific. Captivate allows us to design interactive e-learning trainings. And so it's really fun. It includes programming, and it's a lot of like mental gymnastics a lot of the time, because you want the learner to be able to do XYZ on that screen, but you have to figure out how to make that work and to make it happen in an easy, concise way to where they're interacting with it, but they're also learning and not getting frustrated and retaining the information. So that's something that I had a really big project that involved Captivate in 2017, and it finally launched the beginning of last year in 2018, and it's been amazing. And so with the success of that, we didn't have the Connect side of it, which the Connect is the side that allows you to put it out to users where they can log in and take any of your coursework that you've created. So because what I created in 2017 was for a project, we figured out a way to run it through a Java scrub and post it onto the internet. Well, the internet, because it's not open to just anyone. We figured out a way to scrub it so that way it played correctly as an HTML5 and posted it to a secure site for people to take. But that was all in conjunction with a specific project. So last year, it took a lot of like time and presentations and meetings with Adobe, and just meeting with our higher ups and things like that. And they finally got us the Connect side of it. And we got it at the end of October, beginning of November. And we got some online trainings and some in-house trainings with a really awesome person. His name is Sean. And if any of y'all work in this kind of realm like I do, you might know Sean, but he's an incredible person. And so he came in from Northern California and trained us live, because he doesn't work for Adobe, but he is a licensed trainer partner with Adobe. His company is. And so he is like our go-to guy for the Connect stuff. And I've kind of become like email, phone conversation friends with a guy named Kevin Siegel who owns and runs certification programs and online training programs for the Captivate side. of things. And so we're getting more training from Kevin. And anyways, because I had this other project, I've had access to the program the same amount of time as some of my other coworkers who have been at my job longer. But because of my project, I've gotten to play in the program more, and I've gotten to be in all of these higher level meetings with the upper management, with Adobe and things like that. So I've kind of become like the go-to person for these products in our agency, and it's been really crazy. And they just created a new division called the training division. We're the only training team out of all the divisions that did not get pooled and put into this new division. So I've also been being used as their point of contact because they want to go in this route too. So I've kind of been helping them make some of their decisions in a way. It's been very overwhelming the last few months, but in a really good way, because on top of all that, we still have our regular projects going on. But we are currently in production of our coursework, our like initial set or group of coursework. And so the last few weeks we've been working with our web team and making our graphics, and we've been customizing like our catalog page and our login page and all of our stuff. Our virtual classroom, we've been customizing that and working on creating new logos, and it's been so much fun and overwhelming and a lot of work. And I got an email from Sean about a month and a half ago. And again, I work for a state agency, so nothing happens fast, okay? I got an email from Sean about a month and a half ago, and he said, this made me think of you. And so I'm so excited. It took forever. Whenever we found, the thing that he emailed me about, let's just go there. Adobe puts on a certification program twice a year. Once in Las Vegas, which our agency is never going to send us to because they used to, and people did things they shouldn't have, I guess, and it ruined it for everyone else. But there's one in Vegas in October, and there's one in Washington, D.C. in March. And this year, for the first time in like 10 to 15 years, they are doing some daytime ones, because normally the other ones are are a 2-day thing. The one day is like the certification thing, and then like the next day is like presentations and speakers and roundtables and stuff with Adobe product creators and all the top people in the industry, which I would love to go to one of those. But for the first time in like 10 or 15 years, I think this last October was the 13th annual in Las Vegas. They are coming to individual cities, and that is what Sean emailed me about. They were coming to Houston on the 10th and Austin on the 8th, and we cannot go to the one in Houston because we already have a prior like all-day conference that's been paid for, and so we were like, we have to do this. And our upper management, I had been working on a presentation because they were like, why do we still not have content yet? We gave you the thing, where is it at? And we kept on telling them it takes programming, it takes time, and we've all been on projects, and we finally just got time off of projects to build our stuff. And so, sorry, I'm gonna have to take water breaks today. It's been a long day. So we're like, we're on it, we're working on it. And so they never really understood what we meant by programming. So I had to put together this presentation that showed off some of the things that we were doing and also better explained how we were using the applications, because it's one thing to get presentations from Adobe and things like that, and they do it very like generic, this is what you can do. But instead, we wanted to show this is what we're going to do. So I had to give that presentation to that new training division, and that was a 4.5 hour long process. And then I had 20 minutes to give the same presentation very quickly to our higher up management. And my boss's boss said if she can do that presentation, we might be able to fast track this DM to get them to this certification class. And honestly, we didn't think it was going to happen because we submitted all the forms about 3 weeks ago, and we just found out Thursday at like 4:15 in the afternoon that it got approved. So then we had to try and get into the class. So we tried doing my coworker first. She got halfway through the process, but it wouldn't take payment. So we called the little number, and the guy said, I need you to email the group and then we will call you back. So basically what had happened was Thursday, they closed the class for Austin. They closed it, and somehow she was able to register but not pay. So they reopened 2 spots to let her and I's payment go through for registration. And we have 20 hours of prep work to do before Wednesday morning. Yeah. And we have to leave Tuesday midday. So we found out all of this very, very late yesterday afternoon. Or maybe it was Wednesday afternoon that we found out. And yesterday, we found out Wednesday afternoon. And all day yesterday, we had to prep our laptops because we had to get someone with security to download the trial of the 2019 onto a laptop for us. And we had to start all this coursework. But in the middle of that, I was still prepping for a custom class that I was putting on this morning. And so my coworker, out of like 20 lessons, is on 17, and I'm only on 7. But I've had 2 half days taken away from me on this coursework. So anyways, very last minute. That's all kind of in a bundle why I've been so jumbled lately, because it's just been a lot to prep for. It's a lot on you mentally. So it's just I've come home and I've literally accidentally taken naps almost every single day this last week. It's just been hectic. And next week is not going to be any better. We have some other stuff coming soon. And so Monday, my coworker and I, all we're going to be doing is finishing up this coursework. I'm hoping to have mine done by Monday afternoon, but I may have to do the last like 1 or 2 Tuesday morning before we leave. So it's really putting pressure. And then we have the event all day Wednesday. We get to go to dinner with my cousin, which I'm really excited about. And we come back Thursday, finish up work Thursday afternoon. Then Friday we have this other conference, and it's just a very, very long week. I'm so excited for this weekend. And last weekend, I knew it was going to be a crazy week. I didn't know how crazy it was going to turn into because, like I said, we didn't find out about prepping for this certification until Wednesday. So I went to go see my friend. I had an amazing time. If you ever get to go to like the Arlington, Fort Worth area, okay, I'm a Houston girl. Houstonians does not like Dallas. Most Houstonians do not like Dallas. And what are Dallas called? What are the Dallas people called? They aren't Dallasites, are they? I don't know. Anyways, Dallonian? I don't know. Well, I don't know what they call themselves. I can't remember. But I've only been to Dallas maybe twice. No, not even. I've been to Dallas once for work a really long time ago. Any other time, we just drove through it. I've never been to Fort Worth. I've never been to the Arlington area. If anything, drove through it. I have been to Waco once, which is about an hour away from DFW, but it's kind of lumped in. I've been there like once intentionally. So this was very new for me. I got to see all over Fort Worth and Arlington, and it's so beautiful up there. Fort Worth is a super, super adorable downtown. They've done a lot to it. The Bass family has really put a lot of money into many of the buildings in downtown. It's truly just a beautiful, beautiful town, or city, my bad. So I had a blast with my friend. We literally did not do a whole lot in terms of like going out and like doing. Friday night, as soon as I got into town, we ate, and then we came back and we watched a movie and just chatted and just hung out, literally just spent time together, just the two of us. And then Saturday we woke up and we went to breakfast at the Old South Pancake House. It is so good. It's been around since it's been either 1963 to 1965. It's one of those, but it's been around since the early 1960s. It is so good. So if you are in the Arlington area, definitely check out Old South Pancake House. It's amazing. Then we drove around all of Arlington and saw all the places that she used to live, where she went to high school. Her high school looks like one of those high schools that you see like in movies. Like it kind of reminded me a little bit of like the high school in like 10 Things I Hate About You. Like she said some days it looks like a school, some days it looks like a church, some days it looks like a Capitol type building. It looks like so many different things. And it's 100% true. Whenever you think of like those schools in movies, like early 90s movies, it's literally what you think of. It was gorgeous, and that was her high school. She just literally took me around everywhere in Arlington. Like, this is where I worked, this is where, because we've known each other now for 13 and a half years. She was my very first roommate, and I've been to her mom's house once. It was for a single day for her wedding, and she's been single again for a while now, like years. So I've been in the area once, but it was for a single day. I went there, we did it, like they did it, I left. And so this was like my first time exploring the area. And so we went to the Trinity River, and we walked along some of the trail. It was just so beautiful. The weather ended up being perfect during the day, because that night it was awful. But we did that. Then we went to downtown Fort Worth, and we went to this really nice, like, kind of like promenade, like square type thing. We went and had a drink at one of the restaurants, and we went into a couple of shops. Then we headed over to where the Stitch Niche is, and I ran in there, and the patterns that I wanted, they did not have them yet, so I couldn't pick those up. I did sign up for the Hands-On Designs, Summer House Stitch Works, and oh my god, Ink Circles, Needles Danced Kit, and I said that I would prefer the darker fabric. So, but that doesn't come out till about May 15th, so I'll be getting a call about that. But the other patterns that I was kind of wanting to pick up, if they had them, because they had just released, I was going to. And then as far as threads and stuff went, they were out of a couple of the ones that I like really, really needed. They were out of 2, 3, possibly 4. They were out of a few of the ones that I needed for some of the stuff that I was kitting up. Weeping Willow being one of them, but that's okay. I got majority of what I wanted and needed for my Blackbird Designs, for Octopus's Garden, and Eleanor Rigby. So that's what all of these colors are for, is for Eleanor Rigby and Octopus's Garden. And somebody in well, not somebody, a few people in last week's video commented that they would like to see everything that I like kitted up. I'm not going to show like all of the threads and stuff that I kitted, but I will show you which patterns I kitted up and with which fabrics. So I have 4 left of the Beetles collection by Blackbird Designs, and these are the 2 that I'm going to do next. Because I don't know why, I want to get the last 2 bigger pieces finished, because Long Winding Way and Blackbird are not as big, and I know that I have plenty of fabric, but I want particular cuts of my fabric for these 2, so I want to make sure to I just want to get these done first. So I got all of the colors except for probably like 2 that I need in here. And the 2 that I need for this one, I have the colors. They're just in a different kit right now. But this is the fabric for all of my Beetles pieces. It has like a lot of light and dark in it. I dyed it myself with like grays and tans and blues. So part of my haul is going to be in my little story time. So we have, you know, a lot of these are repeats because I know that I'm going to need a lot of them, but so I'm just trying to show y'all some of the colors that I can, that I don't think are repeats. I really like this blackboard. I thought maybe it was going to be black, but it's like a really dark blue. So there's some of them. Then there's a couple of repeats in here. But mostly like dark grays and blues, and this really pretty like terracotta color, which that's what it's called, but it's really pretty. So I got all of those, and like I said, there's a few missing for these 2 in the pattern, or in the set series. So I did get all of, I did get most of what I needed to get those going, which I think I want to start Octopus's Garden first, and that'll be in June. So I wasn't able to get Mountain Mist, which I needed for Octopus's Garden and for Quilting Bee. Let me find the Quilting Bee pattern really fast. I have this like massive collection of things sitting next to me. So I couldn't get Mountain Mist. So for Quilting Bee, I am going with Sand by Picture This Plus. And I'm doing it in all the called for colors as close as I could get them, because I am switching it to DMC except for the brown, the gold, and the Mountain Mist color. But for the gold, I'm doing Harvest Moon, and I'm doing Maple Syrup for the brown. And then I'm going to add a mauvey color, and I'm doing it in 223. But everything else is pretty close to called for this pattern. I just want to change up some of the brown in the quilt squares to pink, but like a dusty rose pink. So that's the blue flower, and I'm starting this in June. So that'll be really fun. I don't know if we're gonna start it at the beginning or the middle or the end. We haven't really talked about when we want to start that, but if anybody wants to start that with us, you're more than welcome to do that, because that's just fun. I also did not get any of the Krynics for Scary Apothecary, and the reasoning behind that is they only had like 3 of them in stock, and a couple of the ones, they had 3 or 4 of them in stock, and the 2 different color purples for me are too close in colors that I don't think I would want to get both. And so there's 2 different color oranges and 2 different color greens, and so I want to see all of them in person, so that way I can decide, because it calls, the whole series calls for 10 different Kreinicks, and a few of them are only going to be used in like one of the patterns, or maybe like 2 of them, not all of them. But there's like 2 different purples, and the 2 different purples are never in the same pattern, so it wouldn't really matter. So I just want to find the purple out of the 2 called for that makes more sense for the color palette that I've picked. And I think I showed this last week. I know I showed the fabric last week very fast. But these are the colors that I've pulled for it. Again, I'm not going to list them all off, but I will give you a little flash at my color palette with the bat fabric. So this is the color palette on the bat fabric. So that's the other thing, because my palette is so different because of the bat fabric, I might not even want I might still want a called for like purple, but I might want it to be a different type of purple than the ones that are called for, if that makes sense. So that's my Scary Apothecary that I kitted up. So that's pretty much my list of things that I wanted to get. I still have like what I wasn't able to get circled, and I have a lot more on the, I was also wrote down all of the things that I needed for Long Winding Way, but they didn't have a lot of those either, so I didn't even try to get them. Okay, so then we went to the Stitch Niche, and then we went back to the house for a little while, and we hung out with the dogs and just chilled. Then we went to dinner, and then we came back to her house, and one of her friends came over, which I had met before at her wedding, and we just hung out and we watched Bohemian Rhapsody and went to sleep. And the next day we hung out for a little bit, and I left by like noon. And yeah, that was my weekend with my friend. It was amazing. It was so relaxing. And yeah, if you're in the DFW area, Fort Worth is definitely where it's at. I remember not being a big fan of Dallas, but Fort Worth is so adorable. It's definitely worth going to Dallas, 100%. I mean, Fort Worth. It's 100%. It's worth it. Okay. So let's talk about what else I kitted up. Some of these have so many colors that I'm not going to go through all of the colors, honestly, but I will show you what fabrics I picked for different patterns that I want to start soon. Some of them I will show the colors because there's not that many or something like that. My working copy is in front of this, so let me pull that out. Okay, so one of the first ones that I kitted up was Quaker Gone Poe by Michelle Inc. And I dyed this piece of fabric. It's like a tan gray, and it's tan and gray is what it is. Tan, gray, and black. I think it's either the darkest gray that you can buy or it's black. But the base of it is tan, and then I added a lighter gray and black on it. So this is going to be for Quaker Gone Poe. And I'm changing up the colors. So it's supposed to be in silken colors, but I'm doing the really dark color in $37.99 because I think that would look really good on this fabric. And the purple in this is a brighter purple. I'm doing it in $38.88. And then instead of doing lime green, I'm going to do it in orange in $38.83. One, I like the purple and orange idea better rather than the lime green, and it's not going to be a whole lot of orange. And also, Edgar Allan Poe is from Maryland, Baltimore, And so I thought I would switch the lime green to orange, so that way I would also have both of my Dirty Bird colors, so the Ravens and the Orioles. So I think that's going to look really nice and really spooky and creepy and just amazing. So I think this is, it's 3 pages. So it's skinny, but it's long. So that is one. So all these things I kitted up on Instagram about 2 weeks ago. I did an Instagram live. And the ones that I'm putting off to the side that I'm not showing you, they are just older like whips that just happen to also be in the pile. Okay, let's see. We'll do this one. So next. So this one is Home of a Needleworker Squared. And this is a coffee tea dye, but for some reason the fabric, I think I got this from somebody in my quilt guild, so I don't know how old it is, but it didn't really model very well. It kind of just became more of like a solid. There's like a little, but it's so subtle. So I haven't known what to do with this, but I thought that Needleworker Squared would be really perfect with the color palette because it came as a kit. So you got all the threads. Oh, you fell. And 3 of the threads are the new Classic Colorworks for this last Nashville release. So I thought those would look really great for this. It should be a relatively quick stitch, I hope. But again, probably won't get started for a little while. But it is kitted, so that's always great. I don't know, you never know. It might happen this month. I've kind of already not stuck to which smalls I was going to start first this month, so you never know what I might do. Okay, so I already showed this, and I'm not going to hold up all the colors. I did change a few of them, but this is going to be for cat and dog rolls that I got last week. This one is an older chart. It's called Giving Thanks, and it came with it came with all the threads as well. I guess it might have been like a Nashville release or something. From when was this? 2015. It's another like single page pattern, but I sometimes like doing prims on crazy colors. So this is the rest of my Fabrics by LJ, and I'll probably still have half of this left, but this is on my Fabrics by LJ Easter teal that I won in one of his Easter giveaways a year ago. So I wanted to do it on this teal color. I thought it would look kind of cool, different. We're all about that here. So there's that I kitted up. Let's see, what do I want to show next? What are you? That's an old whip. Oh, that's an old whip. Okay, almost done showing things that I've kitted up. Okay, so this is this one by Silver Creek Samplers. I've changed a lot of the colors, a lot of them, because I didn't have them in my kit, and some I just wanted to change, but I've kept the theme of the colors. I haven't gone astray too bad, but the fabric is going to be crazy, crazy, crazy cool. So this is going to be the fabric, but I'm going to do it in this way for the pattern. And then I'm still going to have this half of it left. So I could do like 2 smalls. But I want to do it this way for the pattern because then the grass is going to kind of line up where the green is, and then it's going to go into blue, like into the sky. These are like this is like my working theory in my head. And then like where the tombstone and the girl is going to be and the plant is growing is going to be over here with like the yellows and stuff. So this is what I pulled for this. Again, I dyed this and was just waiting for the perfect piece, and that half of the fabric should be big enough for this piece. And I just think it kind of, I don't know, I think it's beautiful with it, and it's just another example of I kind of do what I want, you know? All right. The next one, this one I haven't really kitted. I'll show this one first. This one I haven't really kitted, and I feel like I showed this last week, maybe. But I got the Oh Joyous Day by Blackbird Designs in. I feel like I did show this last week because I talked about not getting any of the, I'm going to do it in DMCs. But I don't remember if I showed what fabric I kind of picked for it, and I picked out this. It's a 32 count Jobelin. So, that I coffee tea dyed. I had to smell it. But it just, the modeling came out really pretty on it, and it's just big enough. And so I thought that would look really pretty on there. So, yeah, I think that'll be really pretty. I'm pretty sure you can only get this pattern from Stitchville USA, but I also think they still have some. So if you do like that pattern, definitely Google Stitchville USA, and you can make an order over the phone. Okay. All right, last kitted thing. Yes. Oh, not technically true, but the other one I can show later. It's fine. So this is my Rivaris skeleton mermaids, and as of right now I want to make them really colorful, and I want to do it on this half of the fabric. So they're gonna go on this piece of fabric, and I'm going to make them very colorful. So stay tuned for that. I'm excited to get that started as well. All the things, none of us have enough time to really actually start most of this, right? But we still start it. We hope to finish it. We're about to get a visitor. Okay, so that is everything that I kitted and my haul from Stitch Niche. Get off of it. Get off. Potter. Oh my god. He normally doesn't do this. Stop. Stop. Oh my gosh. Leave that alone too. Okay. Sorry about that. Hey. I said stop. Okay. Fun. Okay, so I'm sorry, I got distracted. Let's jump into the things that I've worked on since last week. I did not get to stitch, so I had high hopes, I had plans. EJ, I'm really sorry. I didn't get any April finishes. Couple reasons. I didn't get to stitch on Friday. I wanted to stitch Friday evening whenever I got to my friends while we were just hanging out, but we also decided to drink a lot. So I could not stitch. I stitched a tiny bit Saturday morning, but like not enough to be like, I stitched. And then I didn't stitch any Saturday night because whenever we were watching the movie, again, we got drunk. Bohemian Rhapsody, though, by the way, very good movie, even drunk. And then Sunday, I got a fever, and I just didn't really feel like stitching, to be quite honest. And Monday, I stitched at work on my Sunshine Trio. but I didn't really stitch Monday night because, again, I still didn't feel very good. So I just want to show where I left off on Be Inspired. So again, top page is pretty much done except for that light color in the banners. But I can't remember if I talked about this in last week's video or not, but I messed up right here. I think I did talk about this. I messed up right here. Like I said, the frog does not visit me very often, but whenever he does, he visits. So I need to take out just from this line of 4 and these swirls and star. I need to take that out so that way I can redo that bit with the line that I accidentally missed. And then this will be back good to go. But this is getting put up. This one is getting put up until June at least. And so is my Sunshine Trio. Because this month for Mania, I'm doing HAEDmaynia, which is where I only work on my HAED in the evenings. And at work, I'm going to try and work on some smalls that I have kitted that I really want to get done. So this is where I kind of landed. That needs to go in my jar. Sorry about that. This is where I landed with the little bit of work that I did Monday and Tuesday on my lunch break with my Sunshine Trio. So I'm so close to the end. Like, I have that much left. I'm very close. So this will definitely come back out as soon as June is started. Because I want this done. So this will probably be the first thing that I work on in June before starting any of the new stuff, just because I really want it done. And then I'll move on to like starting Quilting Bee and stuff like that. So, so yeah, if I would have been able to work, even if we wouldn't have drank, we were just having such a good time, like enjoying each other's company, that it was, especially since she's not a stitcher, it was just kind of like, I don't know. I just didn't want to stitch with her. I wanted to, but I also knew that that would have to distract me. And it had been a really long time since we had like genuinely like had the time to like hang out the way we were. And I don't know. I was just enjoying the weekend and just not stitching. And it is what it is. Okay. So things that I got, okay, I will show. So I did show those last week. I worked on Sunshine Trio just a little bit this week. But before I get into what I worked on this week, which is really exciting because it's my HAED, and also like a small that I started Thursday. I didn't get to work on it today because we had a birthday luncheon, but it's so cute and I'm really excited about it. It's a small and I don't think it's going to take very long. We'll talk about the haul that came in this last week. This came in, I should have showed this last week, but I totally forgot. But my fabric of the month for April came in, and it was Picture This Plus Heartland in the 32 count Lugana. It's definitely more yellow than I would have guessed from photos. So I'm glad on the 1st of March, whenever I made my Picture This Plus order, that I did not get this one. My only regret with my Picture This Plus order is that I did not get the new color Nessie. I got 2 of the new colors out of 4 because I knew that I was going to get Heartland at some point this year, because I already know what's coming in the Baker's Dozen. I just don't remember it, and I don't know what order I'm going to get it in. But this is Heartland. But I didn't get Nessie because I thought that it would look too much like blues that I had, but I've seen photos of it and it's gorgeous. So the next time I break down and have a Picture This Plus order, I'm definitely getting Nessie. It's really cute and pretty, but it's kind of like, It's kind of like a little bit more of like a golden mellow, in my opinion. So I don't dislike it. It's just, it has a lot of gold in it. So it's going to take me a little while to find the perfect thing to use on this, or to stitch on this. But I do really like it. It's beautiful. Okay. My Picture This Plus order did come in, and I'm really excited about these. I got 6 fabrics. So I got, they're all 32 count Luganas in the 18 by 27 size. So I got another piece of Oaken. So this is going to go straight into my Little House Needleworks ABC bag, because I need to finish the Needleworker and Autumn and Summer. So this is to finish those, and then I'll have a little bit left over. But I did talk to y'all about the other week that I am tempted, or maybe that was on Instagram Live. I am tempted to do the Needleworker one on a different color fabric. So if I do that, then I only need like a small strip of this to finish the Autumn ABCs, and then I'll have a really nice size piece of Oaken for something else. So I'm toying with that idea. The next one in my package is one of the new colors, the Demi-Woselle. And it's very pale light blue, but it has yellows and pinks in it. And it is really pretty. I don't know what I want to put on this, but it looks like the most beautiful cotton candy I've ever seen. Hopefully you can kind of see it. It's really pretty. So I'm excited to have this in my stash. I also got a piece of Velt because I've had my eye on this for a really long time. I got some fuzzies, that's fine. But it's this really nice like pale green and tan with some darker tan in it. I just really, really like it. So gotta find something that requires like a mossy look to it to go on this. This would have been really good for Quaker Gone Haunted, but I really do still like it on the light pink. I also got one of the new colors, Memory. So this is the other new one that I got. Like I said, I will get Nessie at some point, but I got Memory because I've never had like this purple of a fabric in my stash, so I just thought that would be good to have. Then I also got Feldspar. I feel like I had something in mind for this, but right now I can't think of it. So I got Feldspar. I really like it. It's a really nice light and dark blue, but if you can tell, it kind of looks like some like tea spilt on it a little bit. There's a very light splash of like a grayish brown. Looks really pretty. And then last but not least, this is a color that I have wanted in my set to do something on for a really long time, and it's Cauldron. It's blue with like this rust burnt orange color across it. I've wanted to stitch something on this fabric. I don't know what, but I've wanted to stitch something on Cauldron for so long. So I've got to find something to put on that. But that is my Picture This Plus haul. I love everything that I got. There's obviously more in my wish list, but I got stuff that I thought I could find something for quicker than like later, if that makes sense. And then the last haul that I got, I had put a call out on my Instagram on where to find a good deal and find in stock the Dames of the Needle, or Exemplar Dames Design Co. Sorry, got that wrong. And They Send. And Kyle came through for the win and told me Cecilia's. So I got it from Cecilia's. It was also the cheapest that I was able to find it, quite honestly. So if you are looking for And They Send, Cecilia Samplers has it, and also for the cheapest amount that I could find. I found it for a little bit more expensive, and I was willing to pay that, but they were all out of stock. So she actually had it. I ordered some other patterns in this order that I had never seen and or were harder to get my hands on, and they were back ordered. So I'm waiting on those to come in, but hopefully that will happen soon. So that is all my haul, my Pictureless Plus fabric, what I got at Stitch Niche, what I kitted up 2 weeks ago on Instagram Live, and where we're leaving the Emma Congdon challenge unfinished. EJ, I know, I'm sorry. But those two will get finished in June. I am so determined because I love them that much and I just want them done. So what did I start this week? I did have a new start this week. It is a small because I am doing HAEDmaynia. I did HAEDmaynia last year. And I've seen that like some other people are doing that this year and it's so fun. I think people did it last year too. I'm just using the HAEDmaynia hashtag from last year, which doesn't have a year tagged onto it, but I have noticed that some people are tagging HAEDmaynia 2019. I'm just putting it under the old one for some reason. But I have a new hashtag on all of my HAED photos, and it's just unsaved HAED, because that's what it is. But mostly because it was an unused hashtag and I wanted to have an easy way to see all my pictures of my HAED. So I went through and I gave all the old photos a new hashtag. So if you want to check up on my progress on my HAED throughout this month or anytime that I work on her, you can check out HAED or unsaved HAED, that hashtag, all one word, because it's really fun watching like her face come in, which I'm not working on that page currently. Anyways, I need to stop talking about her. I need to get to what I started. I started the Heartstring Samplery Stitch or Die at work on Thursday, and I've only been able to work on it one day, and I've already almost color completed 2 colors, which that's totally my jam. I love color completing, but this is where I'm at. So I have the little cat, the hoop, the flower. It's a pretty quick stitch. I feel like the border might trip me up a little bit because it's around the whole thing, but it's really small. It's 80 by like 75. So it's not that big. Okay, so I'm gonna work on smalls every day on my lunch break, or as often as I can on my lunch break. And I'm gonna work on my HAED every evening. But on the weekends, I was talking about this with Heather. On the weekends, just to get even more progress on the smalls done, I'm thinking about on the weekends giving myself an hour or 2 hours of my stitch time, or like a respective percentage of my stitch time for that day to my small that I'm working on this month. But my main focus is still going to be my HAED. And also the last thing that I kitted up goes with this because it's the larger version that's called the Stitching Life. And I kitted it up and I'm going to do it on doubloon. So, and I pulled as many of the called for DMCs. The colors in both are the same, except the larger one obviously has a few more colors. But it's a bunch of like, it's a really pretty blue, it's beautiful pinks, yellows, beautiful greens. It's a really nice color palette. And I love the fabrics that I chose for them. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. So I'm trying to finish the Stitch or Die first this month, and then I'll probably move on to like my hands-on design months. And then I don't know, I might start one of those Little House Needleworks, like Needleworker Squared or something. I just want to work on like smaller things. I also have the Laundry Co. that I need to finish the first one of and then do the second and third one. So we'll see what happens, but this one was just really calling me this week. I just, I know that I want to finish the hands-on design months, but the colors and the fabric with everything going on, I was just like, that looks like happiness. So that's why I grabbed that one. And it had a cat on it. Rude. So that's why I wanted to work on that. All right, so my HAED. She's back. She's large and in charge. I started this right around 2 years ago. I think like in May or June of 2017. And I've only started 3 pages, and I do not have a full page completed at all. Not at all. But I'm very close to completing my page 3 because I'm doing my pages diagonal stair-stepped. So that way I can like get the full scope of her size and then fill in. But also because like all of my edge pieces or pages are solid 310. So I want to mix those in because they're going to be difficult to get through. And I'm not kidding whenever I say that. So my page 1, I'm at the point where it's solid 310. It's been at that. So, Monday night, or not Monday night, the first night of HAEDmaynia. So today's the 3rd. So Wednesday night, I worked on the black in page 1. You cannot tell that I did any work on page 1. The only spot where you can kind of feel a line is right here. I know you can kind of see it in the camera, but feel wise, you cannot feel this. You can kind of feel this line, but it's going away. But you can't tell that I did anything on this page this week, but I put about 1/4 of a skein in this square. It's a lot of stitches. So basically, whenever I'll probably take this to Austin with me, but I probably won't want to take a whole lot. So I'll just take a skein of black and a single needle and some scissors, and I'll just slowly work on this page. So that's what I'm kind of using, like the pages of full black for is like days where like I can't really concentrate on like counting basically, but I still want to get some stitches done. My page 3, which I have not touched yet this month, is right here. So this page is pretty close to completion. I have some bigger chunks. I've gotten a lot of like the single stitches finished for this page, but I do have like some bigger chunks of colors. But there's my page 3. This is like my farthest along page other than the full black page, I think, in my opinion. So this page should hopefully get finished this month, and page 2 that I'm currently working on should also get finished this month. I only have 3 colors left on this page. It's basically a checkerboard pattern with 310, 3750, which is the color that I'm working on right now. And then there's a few of 935, like dark gray speckles, like right here as like a halo. And then all the rest is just checkered black and 3750. So I still have obviously a good portion of this page, but it's of 3 colors. So that's the checker that I have left on that page. And then, like I said, my page 3, I have several colors left, but I have big chunks of some of these colors. So I'm hoping if anything in this month, I will get 2 page finishes, some more done on my page 1 that's all black, and hopefully start my page 4, which my page 4 is going to be somewhere, it's going to be like in this area. I don't know exactly what all it's going to include, but it's going to be row 4, page 4 is going to be my page 4. So this is where we're at right now size-wise. So this is 3 rows down and 3 rows in. She's literally life size, which is insane to me. So yeah, I'm looking forward to more progress on that. So if you want to follow her progress, I like I said, I gave her a new hashtag that wasn't being used at all by anybody else. And it's hashtag unsaved HAED, HAED. So yeah, that is my HAED, and it's Nothing Will Save Me by Melanie De Leon. She's really beautiful. I've named her Annalise, so if you hear me reference her as Annalisa, that is her. That is who I'm talking about. But yeah, so I've been working on page 2. The first day of HAEDmaynia, I worked on page 1, and last night I worked on page 2. I had a bunch of holes in this section, and I filled them. So I'm going one way and then back, and then one way and then back, and then one way and then back of 3750. And then it gets more sparse as we go up. So I'm going to get to a point where it's more sparse, and I'm going to have to stop 3750, and I'm going to have to switch to 310, and then just jump around and fill holes, because it's going to be like sparse, more sparse than the 3750 in this. So yeah, I'm mostly doing the pages staggered like that to get her size, because she is 6 by 6 pages. That's wrong. She's 6 pages across, 7 rows down. So I'm just trying to get a full scope of her length and width, and yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm in love with her. I'm looking forward to this month of working more and more on my HAED, and hopefully getting some of these smalls done. And like I said, I'm thinking that I'm going to, on weekends, give each of my smalls an hour to an hour and a half of my time out of the day, just so that way, because things happen at work where I can't work on them. So just to give them a fair shake on the weekends, because I do get a fair more amount of stitching time then. But it's mostly all about the HAED this month. And so yeah, I hope y'all really enjoyed my little bit of haul that I have forgotten to show or what have you. But mostly I really hope that y'all enjoyed seeing what all I kitted and what I have been working on this week and where my HAED is at, and what my plans are for this next month. And I will see y'all next week. Also, because I want to get this up, I'm probably not editing this, so I'm not going to add little side panels. Sorry, I'm just overwhelmed, really tired. I want to do some stitching, and I still have yet to eat dinner, and it's 9 o'clock at night. So, it's just been one of those days. So I will see y'all next week. I hope that y'all have a fantastic stitchy weekend. Let me know what y'all are working on and what you're doing for Mania. Are you doing like a single piece? Are you being monogamous about it? Are you doing 19 new starts, 31 new starts, all that kind of stuff? Are you working on whips or all new? Is anybody else working on a HAED? Let me know down below. And message me on Instagram. It's really fun hearing from all of y'all. And yeah, I will see y'all next time. Bye, guys.